Our education system. Recently on the internet, I was just randomly surfing and I came across a statement which kind of shocked me. The statement was our education system lacks two things. Number one, education, and number two, system. Now this might seem quite disturbing and bad. Like we are studying schools, that's where we learn how to earn money and etc. etc. Then how come we can say our education system lacks education system? So this thing is not, I think, not 100% accurate, but to a great extent it holds quite true. In order to know the problems in our education system, you need to first go back into time, right in the year 1835. 1835, India was still under the rule of British. It was still a colony, a British colony. In 1835, an act was passed by Macaulay. He was a British official who passed an act called the Indian Education Act. Indian Education Act of 1835. This act, according to the British, was to revolutionize the education system. But actually, it was to entrap the people, to trap them, thinking that Western culture is superior. And this is where the modern day schools came from, originated from. According to this act, English was it was imposed as a medium of instruction inside the schools. It was very necessary for each and every school to teach in English. And from schools, this act had impact not only on schools, but it had an impact on the whole of society. This affected the whole society. English language spread throughout India, and what it did, it made it easy for the British to communicate with the masses, which allowed them better governance. This was their main motive, to make it easy to govern and control the people. Now, coming back to the present time, we still have the roots of this act running deep inside our minds. We still believe that the English speaking population is superior to the Hindi, Urdu or maybe Arabic speaking population. This system lies in our schools. Our schools are drowned inside this thinking that English is a superior language. Mother tongue isn't respected when it comes to teaching the students the things we are taught in schools. This was the number one problem in our schools. Mother tongue is not valued. Coming to the next problem is the industrialization mentality which exists inside our education system. As I told you, 1835 is the roots, is the year when which is said to be the origin of the modern day schools we have. At that time, industrialization was at its peak. Industries had just started to flourish. So it was the need of hour to recruit obedient and kind of workers with slave mentality who didn't question. They lacked creativity and just did what they were told. For this, the British used the education system. What they did is they created such an atmosphere inside the schools which and kind of enforced this slave-like mentality. For example, inside a typical classroom, a teacher will enter and order the students to open this page, that page. If you don't do it, you will be punished. Such kind of mentality is required by the factory workers, not the students. In modern day, students need to be creative, to be able to collaborate with other, with a number of companies. Say, when, for example, the most successful people, they own private companies. They need collaboration, the art of speaking. They need to be extremely creative and organize each and everything around them. But the schools, they have imprisoned us inside the jail of timetable, strictness. This is another problem. Industrial era mentality. Schools are manufacturing slaves, not students. Now coming to the third point. The third point is that the schools, these schools nowadays, as I told you, they do not teach the students how to, first of all, let me talk about rich, what the rich people basically are. The rich do not work for money, as told by, as written in Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's written that rich do not work for money. They make money work for them. While at schools, they make students work for money. What I'm basically trying to tell you is that in schools, students are not given enough financial knowledge. The art of governing money, how to control money. Inside schools, students are taught how to make money, not how to organize, how to kind of manage the money you earn. It's a wise saying. It's not about how much money you have. It's about how much money you keep. Let me tell you what the rich do. First of all, the schools do not teach the students the difference between an asset and a liability. Let me tell you, asset is anything which puts money inside your pocket, and liability is anything which takes money out of your pocket. Most of the people, what they do is they invest in their house a lot, thinking that it is an asset. But according to Robert T. Kiyosaki, the people who think that their house is the biggest asset they have, they are in great danger. House squeezes the money out of our pockets, and most of the people think it's an asset in investing it. Anyways, coming back to the point, the schools, they teach the students how they could enslave for money. They make them work for others. For example, you enter a private company, you will be an employee, you will be working hard 10 hours, 14 hours, and someone else will be making 3 times, 4 times money you make, and they might be literally just sitting on the office chair. Why? Because they didn't let this slave mentality, which is imposed by schools, rise over their brains. The financial knowledge. Now, let me write it down. Third is financial knowledge. Schools only teach how to earn money, not how to manage money. Now, coming to the next point. That is actually, I want to conclude it now. Let me tell you, nowadays we have something called the internet, which has turned this whole world into a global village. In schools, we learn just how to become slaves when we grow up. It is killing our creativity. Following orders, it's said by psychologists, if you make someone follow orders every time, it will literally kill their creativity. We have Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. These all were they were above the school system. They thought outside the sphere of school learning. They were self-educated. They are extremely creative. Let me tell you this stigma which exists in our society. You need a lot of degrees to become successful. It is not. Jack Ma, a Chinese billionaire, he says, success doesn't lie with the people who know everything. Success lies with those people who know how to organize intelligent people, who know to organize people who are intelligent than them. We need to enforce a kind of creative environment among us. The school system, it needs to be changed completely, not just inject worthless information. I just came to know about another point. Let me tell you, I just remembered it. Information versus knowledge. Information, let me tell you, for example, you asked me what the weather is. I tell you the weather is 23 degree and the humidity is 80%. Now, it is information, it's not knowledge. Now, if you ask me the same question, what the weather is, I tell you it's 23 degree and the humidity is 80%. A temperature above 20 degree and a humidity above 75% often indicates precipitation. But inside a coastal region, such kind of conditions do not necessarily mean precipitation. The thing which I told later is knowledge. What I told first is information. 90% of the things which is written in our textbooks, they belong to the first category. It's information, not knowledge. We need to know the difference between information and knowledge. Become creative. We need to value, we need to respect our mother tongue. That's how we can become successful in this world. Thank you.